I think I'm live. Maybe. Oh, it says I'm live. Okay. I had another tab? No, no, I don't think I was. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Oh, here comes my dog. Hey, hey, hey. What's up, Petros? Okay. Parallax. Okay. Oh, all right. I was trying to get a new chat system set up. I don't think it worked, so that's a shame. Oh, such is life. Chatbot. Oh, widgets. Chat. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Hide commands. YouTube. Yes. Okay. I am sure. Yes, yes, yes. Set window. Sure. Doing some random stream thingies. Real quick. URL for widget. Oh. Okay. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay. Well, maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. If anything, I'll just look at the chat the way I was before. Oh, which is classic. Which is just classic. How's everyone doing, by the way? Let's get a link to the stream. Share it on the socials where all the people are. Hopefully everyone is having a wonderful Wednesday. I know I'm streaming a little early. I had some stuff I have to do later. Live. Dark Souls remaster. Go. Copy. All right. Let's go to Discord. The Cord of Dis, I believe is what they call it. Okay. Okay. And then we're going to hop back into my character that I think we needed to get the Lord Souls. I think that was where we were at, if I remember correctly. What the hell? Okay. There we go. Booyah. I have shared a link on both socials. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, let me pull up the chat my classic way then. As per usual. Okay, well, once again, look for a better solution in the future. Or get a cheap second monitor at some point. Okay. Let's log into the game here. Let's hit let's say load game. I gotta remember which one. Yeah, it's from SoftServe, right? Damn, 18 hours? Oh my god, my chat worked. Holy shit. Oh my god, my on-screen chat works. For the love of God, that is so helpful to me. Okay, now I can see it on my screen, but you guys can't see. What's up, big dog? Cypher, this big dog is doing great. This big dog is tired. Didn't get a lot of sleep, but I'm thriving. Oh, gotta turn my phone notifications to vibrate. But yeah, this big dog is doing good. Actually, hold on a second. The messages disappeared a little too quick. Let me go into my little settings here. Widgets, chat, hide old messages. No, maybe not. Noise. Oh, look at that. Yeah, don't hide old messages. Just keep rolling with them, you know? Any updates on DS3 mod? Not really. Because, yeah, Trivia's out of the country for like a month, I think-ish, or something. What's up, Prunus? Prunus? So she's out of the country, and so that's most of where any of the progress would come from. However, she did give me all the files. So she was like, yeah, tinker around, have fun. So I will be installing it and sort of play around a little bit. Yeah, it still hides the messages. I don't like that. Can you stop doing that, chatbot? I told you not to. Ever. Don't you ever. Oh, maybe it's in my chat box. Timers. I don't have any timers. Okay. Uh-huh. Oh, those are chat alerts. Right. Uh-huh. You can do voice messages? Hell no. Absolutely not. Interesting. Okay, well, I don't know. I don't know why the... Oh, okay. How do you save it? Okay, well, whatever. I'll just read them quick. I will do that next time. Did I not kill Priscilla? Or no, I think I came back here to work on a mod thing. Oh, fuck my ass. Oh my god. That was a quadruple kill. Hopefully everyone saw that. That was super impressive. Oh, I had bombs equipped. Shit. Oh, okay, now I got blast. Ow, fuck me. Ow, shit. Ow, shit my ass. Okay, well, there you go. Cool. You love to see it, you know? You love to see it. I got my ass destroyed. And not in the fun way. Not in the fun way. Wait, did my going live tweet disappear? What the fuck? No, okay, there it is. Weird. Very weird. Oh my gosh. First death, let's go. Oh, okay. Chat's still working. I'm just triple checking. Yeah, first death, let's go. I already killed Priscilla, right? Didn't I? Did I not? I don't remember. Oh, fuck. I swear to God I did. Didn't I? I tried cutting off her tail, right? Or no, I did cut off her tail, and then it was using her soul to get the scythe. And I was mistaken in thinking that it was cutting off the tail, of which it was not. Which is like duly noted. But I'm locked in here, unless I just use the SR gadget and then warp somewhere else. But we'll do it the classic way. And we're just going to run there. Is it a strength build? That's a great question. I have no idea. I have no earthly idea. Oh, fuck me. Dude. Seriously? You are on my last nerve. You're on my list, guys. Just so you know, you're on my fucking list. I think it is. I think I'm strengthy. I think I'm a strong bonk. Strong bonk. This cutscene is so weird. Like, why did they go so hard on this cutscene? And then have that weird, like, boom, boom, you know, sound or whatever. It's like, nah, all right. Settle down, Miyazaki. Okay, I'll skip that. Thank you. We're in Orlando. I haven't been in this interior. Oh, god fucking damn it. I forgot to fix the player lantern not being over in this corner. Fuck. Duly noted. Okay, hey. Shit, my ass. Oh, I love the running attack does a bonk. Ooh, painting guardian sword. That's a nice one. Okay, alright. Okay, we got the fucking, like, newsies over here. Wait, what? Oh, it's already up. I was like, what in the holy goddamn hell is going on? Yeah, DS1 have some weird sound effects. Yeah, FromSoft is funny how they will have, like, the lowest fidelity / quality audio effects of all time. It's just like, but why? Surely you guys have the money. They're just weird that way. They also reuse a lot of stuff. Smart though. Smart for development. Saves you a lot of time. Okay, we beat O and S, and it took like 22 minutes or 21 minutes. Single attempt, which I'm pretty proud of. Pretty ridiculous. I was like, what the fuck? Okay, what level? Oh, it's +7? Oh, alright. It's pretty decent. I was surprised that the Demon Great Machete upgraded with Titanite shards. I don't know why I expected it to be with something else. I feel like if it was a DS3 weapon, it would be Titanite scales for some reason. I don't know. I just get that vibe. So here this is my problem. Oh, I didn't do Stray Demon, right? We were gonna do the Painted World and then Stray Demon, but I don't think I did Stray Demon. Or no, I had to do Stray Demon to get the little doll. Or get the thing. You know what I mean. I'm getting my... Yeah. Let's warp. Oh, so I did go to Duke's Archives. Really? Okay, I don't remember that. Oh, we did Ash Lake. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Oh, yeah, Izalith. We were doing Izalith. We didn't get to the Bed of Chaos, though, right? It's bad. I have to have people remind me what the fuck I did. I feel like it's been a while. I feel like it's been a hot minute. Because I didn't stream on Monday. Okay. Now, Pretty Lady's alive. Okay, that's good. Because on my first playthrough, and actually a decent chunk of my playthroughs, I accidentally kill her. Well, I don't accidentally kill her. I just end up forgetting that I won't be able to warp there. And I'm like, oh, fuck me, dude. Shit. Ah, okay. Elevator's active. Love to see it. Ooh, love the little red light that it puts off. Ooh, it's actually a really nifty looking little red light they got there. Interesting. Okay, so let's head this way. Test my knowledge of Lost Izalith. Ooh, this is a good candidate for parallax occlusion mapping, though. Kind of, except for the bricks that are thrown askew here. Damn, a +7 one-shots you guys? Really? That's a little surprising. I'll take it. Okay, we killed Fire Sage Demon, right? Because that's how I got here. Okay. Okay. Thank you. But we need to get to... do you have any idea how to fix the flickering at Anorlando? Yeah. So that's one I do need to just like take a day. It's really boring, but I need to take a day and just tweak the shadow settings, the shadow bank settings for like the whole day, and just see if I can figure out how to reduce the shadow more, because thus far I've been pretty much incapable of changing it, because it's actually map specific, in that I have identical shadow bank settings for Sen's Fortress and Anor Londo, but the shadow more only happens in Anor Londo. And I think that's due to the scale and the size of the different maps, because they operate differently. For whatever reason, having identical settings, you will get more Shadow More and like the little artifacting in Anor Londo. Now, to be fair, Anor Londo has always had Shadow More and artifacting, but not to this level. By using dynamic shadowing like this, it made it obviously worse, but it's always had a certain level of it. Even on like the super early PS3 beta build I booted up, or not beta build, but like pre-release, it had it too. Oh, I didn't sit. Shit my ass. Okay, sorry, I've been playing other games. No, I haven't. I've been playing only DS1. I have no excuse. The thing is, I've been playing with DSR Gadget for modding, so I don't really have to like sit at bonfires. I can just warp wherever the fuck I want. It's great. The real solution for Anor Londo is to rebake the shadows in that area, and then they're not going to be dynamic anymore. Only dynamic for what needs to be dynamic, right? Which was originally only the rotating little middle bridge elevator portion, because that was dynamic, so it had to be, right? Oh, so I killed Centipede Demon. Really? Okay. Oh, orange charred ring. Oh shit, I've said shit in my ass too many times. I gotta cool it. Alright, let's head this way. Ooh, the lava's gonna be tough, because I don't have the HUD on. But I don't take a lot of damage, so. So here's an annoying thing about the way the lava works, is that even in here, it still is adding that red effect to the character. I have not found a way to stop that. It's like predestined, or not predestined, but like it's designed that way to like turn on and off. Did you try Pascal's RTGI reshade? Yeah, I've tried it in a lot of different titles, and I've unfortunately never really liked the look of it. I don't think it... I don't know if that implementation of RT has... Because I've never liked any of the RT implementations done through reshade, unfortunately. I've tried the DH one, I think there's one other one. Nice Guy. Is it a bug? No, it's not a bug, really. That's just kind of how it functions, unfortunately. It's just a goofy way of them trying to connect with the lava and make it look like it's illuminating your character, but it's always been here. Now, of course, a week from now I could be completely wrong and disprove myself. I've learned that, so that's my current understanding of it. But no, I haven't really liked RTGI. Most of the time it's just darkened the image, and I haven't found it to be that much better than using like MXAO plus your standard rasterization type things. Like, I don't know, it's never really done what I feel like. The only way that RT really works is when it's designed to be for RT. It's extremely hard to set. Yeah, I've noticed that, where it's just like by default, and then like playing around with the settings, I'm still like, I'm not really liking it. And then it obviously, the performance decrease, you're just like, man, that trade-off is it's just really not worth it, you know? And so I've just had more fun with rasterized type things, and playing around with colors and you know, highlights and shadows and that kind of stuff. But the actual like RT, I found that to be pretty, and I think it's because now Reshade did include support for this in one of their, I think the 6.0 update. They actually added in the technical support for hardware-based ray tracing. And I don't think anything's been updated to actually utilize that yet. And so it's all been like software-based ray tracing, which would explain the performance hit, right? I mean, there's going to be a performance hit with ray tracing regardless, but like that's part of it. Is it was never used. Oh, hey, okay, hey, be cool over there. Well, actually, you know what? Fuck you. I'm gonna go over here. I don't want your big chicken butt looking. I play Elden Ring with RTGI on as default. Yeah, that I tried with Elden Ring, and admittedly, I have a 2060 Super essentially, and it just doesn't have the headroom to really pull that off. Obviously, the built-in RT of Elden Ring is pretty garbo. It just sucks ass. It's just a really bad RT implementation, which we shouldn't be shocked because of course it is. Like, that's just not, their thing is not tech. I still think it's insane that somehow they put in RT, but they still have not put in FSR2 or DLSS or ZSS. Like, what are we doing? How the hell is NVIDIA not beat down your door to be the first person to help you add DLSS? Like, I don't get it. You're using TAA already. That's the same data set that FSR, DLSS, XESS, that's what they use. So, like, I don't get it. I'm like, dog, I know there's the mod, and I use it all the time, right? I use Pure Dark's mod. And I think there's another solution too, but it's like, come on, homies, like, just fucking add actual support for it by now. I do not understand that. Oh, I must have warped here at some point. Okay, I was testing out Izalith. What's up, big dog? Okay, so Bed of Chaos sucks absolute ass. Oh no, maybe I've already been here. Yeah, maybe I did make it here. Or no, did I? No, I killed Bed of Chaos, right? Yeah. I did it on stream, right? Fuck me, man. I think I did. Oh my god. It's probably right in my inventory. No? Yeah, Bed of... greetings from Germany. Ooh, hell yeah. Germany's rad. Absolutely loving your content. You make DS look so good. Thank you. I appreciate it. TAA is garbage. I mean, I disagree. I think TAA... Unfortunately, you can't put a blanket statement on TAA, IMO, as it depends on the implementation. TAA is objectively superior in terms of its ability to anti-alias and not diminish quality as much as I think the balance between those, because it's always a balance, right, of degrading the image but getting rid of aliasing. And it's better than FXAA. Now, is it better than MSAA? So MSAA obviously doesn't get used much anymore because it obviously was it was intensive in terms of performance, but the results were pretty good. But they basically have undone that because, using the temporal information, you can get, well, honestly, you can get better results. But once again, it depends on the implementation. You got later working? Yeah, Wario, that app is awesome. Holy shit, I finally figured it out. But yeah, TAA just totally depends on the game. But yeah, I agree that in a lot of games, it does look pretty crappy. And obviously, DLSS has just clowned all over it. Where, like, yeah, at this point, please just use DLSS. It's even in performance mode, I think DLSS looks great. In an extremely frenetic game, the TAA sucks. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I think, yes. I think the way that it obviously uses temporal information, and I just don't think it's... Because the TAA, that's the big problem with it, is that it's 100% up to the implementation. And so Unreal has their own implementation. All the in-house engines have their own TAA solution. and it all depends on how they tune it. But when you use DLSS, that is trained by NVIDIA. So, and it's their models. So I that to me is the difference, is that it's legitimately set up to be fantastic. Also, I've already been here, so like, well, let me just roll down here anyway. Yoink. But yeah, DLSS, that's the big advantage. And XeSS, I've actually had really good results with that. Now, of course, it runs best on Intel ARC cards in terms of performance, and image quality to a point. But even on like other vendors' GPUs, XeSS is better than FSR2, for sure, 100%. My cat was eating my computer cables. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna put my cat back downstairs. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, XeSS is really good. I'm actually really impressed by the Intel graphics cards. I didn't end up buying one, but their first foray into it is really, honestly, pretty impressive. FSR3 is a little bit better than DLSS. Well, that's kind of the difference, right? Is that FSR3 is just frame generation, right? Well, I mean, it bundles in. The anti-aliasing portion is still technically FSR2, but it's just like DLSS 3 is the frame gen portion. Inside of it is technically DLSS 2 doing the actual anti-aliasing downsampling or whatever. So like, I mean, still from the comparisons I've seen, DLSS in terms of image quality is still ahead. And really, obviously personal preference, but DLSS, the advantage obviously is that the reason why I think it can look better is that it is specifically not on all vendors, which obviously if we had our way, it would be. What's the current status on implementing map changes? Oh, yeah, you make distant scenery traversable. Yeah, I kind of put that on the back burner. I put that on the back burner. That'll be a future mod at some point. For this mod, I went, all right, well, I'll make the distant stuff look better, but I ain't gonna make it traversable. DLSS image quality is just over the top. Once again, I think there's nuance to that of like, what are you using? Performance mode balanced? Are you using the quality mode? Depends on which mode. Now they've shown that in DLSS quality mode, technically you get more detail resolved at 4K. When you zoom way in, you'll actually see more quality with DLSS quality than you would with native rendering, with the way that native 4K functions and the pixel density, that even at that distance and you zoom in, there can be such aliasing that's involved with the native, and then even applying like TAA on it. Yeah, exactly. The other thing is, yes, FSR does not have deep learning, right? So that's true. It does not have machine learning based in it. It's just smart upscaling, which is really quite good. I've used FSR2. I don't have a big issue with FSR2. I think it's like an industry-wide solution that works on everything. I think it's actually pretty good. I think it's like an 8 out of 10, where DLSS is a 10 out of 10. And so FSR2, let's put that into every game instead of TAA as a baseline. FSR2 is a great baseline, right? So I definitely agree on that. I feel like I missed a chat here. Okay. Just starting playing DS2 again with your Scholar of the Second Sin textures, and it's great. Oh, hell yeah. Thank you. Also, I'm sorry for how big that mod is. That mod is fucking huge. That's why my Scholar Second Sin mod that includes... It's kind of confusing. So not specifically the texture mod, but just the default Second Sin includes like 7 gigabytes worth of textures. What's up, Yozora? The legend has entered the chat. What am I doing? I need to... Okay. I guess I was in the Duke's archives. Presumably. So I got Bed of Chaos, the Soul. The shittiest boss in DS1. Easily. No contest. Even Miyazaki agrees. Okay, let me... You know the funny thing is, I've never accidentally taken off the FAP ring. Is there any chance to do something about Player Lantern in Dark Souls 1? It looks pretty horrible for me. I mean, not really. I can mess with the Player Lantern, and there's a couple settings to like the Player Lantern here. I can't remember which ones I've edited and which one I haven't, because they're all collision based in which Player Lantern. They're all different for each different map, and so then DLSS and FSR are high resolution technologies. They don't make much sense in 1080p. Yeah, well, they definitely don't make sense at 720p at all. At an output resolution of 1080p, the only one that is somewhat viable, because I've used it personally in that mode, is 1080p DLSS quality. You can get a pretty well, or that, or DLLA or DLAA, where it's just doing it at native resolution, so 1080p, and then outputting at 1080p, but you have the really good anti-aliasing that comes from that. So that's viable. But I've done quality mode DLSS on 1080p. It's pretty good. But personal preference, right? I've accidentally taken off the FAP ring when trying to do 4... Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, that's rough. Oh, yeah, the 4 Kings. That is my other option. Yeah, I guess that area is kind of fun, right? Okay, I'll do the 4 Kings. Oh, no, I need to go do Sif then. No, that's fine. We can do Sif. That's an easy one. I think Darkroot Garden has to be the place I've touched the least. I guess I just don't enjoy working on it that much. I'm just not a big Darkroot person, if that makes sense. I'm just kind of like, eh. I guess we'll go this way. I don't have the Crest of Artorias, but I can go the back way to kill the doggo. Yeah. What was I talking about before that? I think I was talking about the Second Sin mod. Like, I think it's nice that that mod you can download and you get upscaled textures, but it's not like 30 fucking gigabytes, right? It's like 7 gigabytes, and then you get textures and overhaul. Holding out for Brightroot? Hell yeah. All the real homies know about Brightroot Garden. Those are the OGs back in the day. It feels like a long time, but I don't think it really has been. Reinforced weapon. Where am I even at on that? Wait. Where's my weapon at? Butcher knife? Oh, okay. Oh, I don't have 2 large titty shards. Okay, well, that's fair. Ooh, frame rate is taking a fucking nosedive down here. I mean, I'm streaming, so it's not loving that, but Jesus fucking Christ. Ooh. I don't remember it being... Yeah, it's not this bad when I play it at all. Jesus Christ. Alright, computer, what are you doing? What are you doing in the background? Do I need to close... Do I need to close things? Because I'll do it. I'll do it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, it dropped to like a consistent low frame rate. What the fuck? Well, this is new. I'm going to go back to playing it like on PS3, essentially. Is it possible to replace all the trees in game with better assets? Well, yes. Technically, yes. Part of the problem is the way that the trees are. Um, I can basically they're like flat, they're like cardboard pop-ups where there's just two flat planes sandwiched together, and that's how they're standing. So technically, if I just have a better texture applied to them, it could work. The problem is finding one that like logically fits and doesn't look fucking weird. I think that's part of the problem. Oh, look at that. Oh, this is a classic problem. I've been fixing this a lot lately. You'll notice this rock here is mistakenly set to be translucent, or a portion of the rock is. I believe they're making there's the grass texture that's like just a little bit up on the rock. It's accidentally set to a translucent material setting. I will get back to that one later. God knows when. But yeah, I can definitely update the textures for them. I need to basically steal tree textures from probably Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 3, I'm like, I don't know, everything's so fucking grimy and dark that like it can be hard to find assets that match the DS1 style. Is that a DSR thing? Was that in Prepare to Die Edition 2? I've already forgotten what I was saying. I'm gonna be real with you. what was I talking about? About the nasty trees or shit ass performance? That was definitely a Prepare to Die thing. Yeah, wow, my computer is just really not liking this area. What the fuck? I don't think I've been on stream in Dark Root Garden, maybe. Is that why? Oh, this is where the Elite Knight set is? Get the fuck out of here. I don't remember that. Oh, the rock. Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, I would bet that it's in Prepare to Die edition as well. I'd have to verify, but likely yes. In most of my okay, well, ow, that's just disrespectful. So in most of my bug hunting, like look at this floating little leafy thing. Yeah, there's those bugs basically. All existed in Prepare to Die edition. I'd say like 80 to 85% of the bugs I've found are not Q-Lock specific. They're just DS1 specific that Q-Lock never fixed. Or didn't notice, to be honest with you. They may have just not fucking noticed it. Because most players haven't noticed it. Hell, I didn't notice it until I was taking a very keen eye. What does Nirvana play through? Oh, I just meant it's parallax mapped Nirvana, as in like a parallax mapped heaven. It didn't have anything to do with the band, but the band is cool. Ooh, this is a good parallax mapped situation here. I'll have to do that if I remember to do that. Okay, shoot your goop, shoot your coom all over me. What I've seen more often is that DS1 has lots of floating objects and DS2 has more gaping hole meshes. Yeah, I mean, definitely DS1 has unbelievable amounts of floating meshes. It's crazy. I will say in my experiences with DS2, which have not been as, broad as yours for sure. So I defer to you on DS2 for sure. In my experiences with DS2, I have seen the mesh holes, but thus far, DS1 has an ungodly amount of mesh holes. So I'd say DS1 has both. Horribly. Especially Undead Berg. Holy shit, Undead Berg is a fucking mess. Like, it's easily the worst quality control area. Yeah, this is Moonlight Coomerfly. 100%. Favorite Nirvana song? I mean, I'll admit, Nirvana was before my time officially. My brothers were super into it. I was born in 91. What's up, Sandwich? So like I missed out on that boat, and to be fair, I was never into grunge music a ton, right? Like they were into Pearl Jam and Smashing Pumpkins, and I just, oh shit, my ass. Okay. I kind of wish my frame rate would come back here, because I don't know why it's just fucking tanked. I don't really understand what's going on there. I think it's because I'm streaming. So, have you always done a laser beam? Because I gotta be real with you, I don't remember that. This playthrough's been fucking weird where I've gotten attacks that I haven't seen in a long time. Um, Nirvana, I think Come As You Are, probably. Something like that. No, no, no. What's the one they used in the Batman movie with, Robert Pattinson? What's the one they used for, like, the main theme? I gotta say, I do fucking love that song, too. That was a sick choice for the main theme in that movie. I actually have there's a good amount of Nirvana songs. I don't know, I was gonna say Paramore there for a second. I was like, what the fuck? Something in the Way, hell yeah, fuck, that song is so fucking awesome. That movie, by the way, really good. I understand some people didn't like it, but I thought it felt like the gritty Batman movie we technically hadn't gotten ever. At least in the current era. I love the Nolan Batman films, don't get me wrong. I'm a fan. I love them. The Dark Knight is obviously just unbelievably awesome and a masterpiece. But I gotta say, that Batman film, I really thought they nailed Gotham City. I thought the vibe of Gotham felt very like, and to be fair, I think they nailed that in the Batman Begins. I think they got farther away from Gotham City. It felt more like New York City in the second and third one. It felt like the Arkham games. You nailed it right there, 100%. It really felt like the Arkham games. It was I felt like it was very comic accurate, and I'm not one who can speak on that authentically. Yeah, that's true. Dark Knight was definitely the grittiest until this new one. This new one was like, hold my fucking beer. We're going to make it even grittier. Which at first I kind of groaned at because I was like, oh, great. They're going to go even more realistic. But it ended up being fucking awesome. I just loved it. I think every frame of that movie is so, like, just the cinematography alone. Even if you don't like Batman, just from a music standpoint, like a music lover and cinematography, ugh, it's so beautiful. And then I have to say, Robert Pattinson absolutely surprised me as Batman. Like, I I guess I didn't have like any super expectations, but okay, what the fuck is going on with the frame rate? Ooh, favorite band and why Radiohead? I do love Radiohead. I have to admit, they're not my favorite, but I love Radiohead. Um, why am I now blanking on all of their songs? The sound engineering, yeah, it was oh, it's so good. Like shout out to everyone who worked on that movie because like just the technical brilliance to it was just it's so good. I got to watch it again. I've watched it twice. Um, okay, let me look up Radiohead songs. Because I know them and I can usually say them, but when it's like on the spot, I can't fucking think of a single one. It's annoying. Because obviously there's Creep. We all know Creep. Creep's fine. And even they go, we have much better songs than Creep. Don't limit us to Creep. You and Whose Army. Love that song. That's a great one. Uh, okay, let's go to Radiohead. Oh, No Surprises. No Surprises is my favorite one. Um, I just love that because the funny thing is I listened to that song for so long, but Paranoid Android, hell yeah, so good. No Surprises because I listened to it and I just loved the melody and I didn't even really like pay attention to what it was about, and then you realize it's all about basically him killing himself with carbon monoxide and suicide and what he's like looking at, and obviously it goes into broader themes than that, but exit music for a film, love it. Fake Plastic Trees is up there. Street Spirit, 100%. High and Dry is kind of a classic. I love that. Weird Fishes, I actually really like. Everything in Its Right Place. Let Down is great. Lotus Flower is actually like the only one I like off that King of Limbs fucking weird album. I ended up actually really liking that one. I still need to listen to a whole lot more of Radiohead. Knives Out, it's pretty good. The Bends. Just kind of rolling through here real quick. Kid A, yeah. Yeah, I need to go through more of it. So I was technically more of a Coldplay person. That was sort of more of my era. But to be fair, I only really like I mean, I like all of Coldplay, to be honest. I do. But I like their older stuff a lot better. Like, way better. Okay, so I know the stream's going to look a little weird for a second. I was going to relaunch Dark Souls Remastered because it was running like dog water. And I'm like, can we not? I'd really rather it didn't run like dog shit. Yeah, so I really like Coldplay. That's the old one, especially the second album. Rush of Blood to the Head. Oh, that's got some bangers on it. Politic, The Scientist, Clocks. What's the last one on that? That whole album, frankly, is just, and that's when they were called like Radiohead Light, and like I get that, but okay, so I think it is capturing that. Nice. We're back, kind of. Let's load back in. I killed Moonlight Butterfly. Now I need to just weasel my way. I'm going to go play some Fallout New Vegas. Been addicted to that for a week now. Have a good rest of the stream. Thank you, Yozora. Have fun with Fallout New Vegas. That is one game I keep hoping I'll be able to get into at one point. But not yet. Oh, wow. Wow, performance is fucking awful here with the overhead I'm having of streaming at the same time. Okay, this might be the worst performance in the entire game, so I gotta look at Darkroot Garden, because what the fuck is going on here? Have you listened to the Smile 2 members? Oh no, no, isn't that the one that has Tom York? Yeah, isn't it Tom York and like two other homies or something? Just started making music or something. He also has like, didn't he have like a solo thingy? Maybe that is the solo thingy. I don't know. As you can tell, I'm very... What is Nirvana? That is a great question. The funny thing is, apparently, like Gen Z, I guess, will wear Nirvana t-shirts, and they'll be like, oh, it's a style thing. And we're like, well, I mean, it's a band, so no. And they go, oh, I thought it was just a fashion brand. I'm like, no. Disagree, but okay. I thought that was funny. It's old enough to where they won't have any reference for the actual band itself, which is understandable. Oh, what the fuck? Wait, there's traverse the white light and enter through the white light. What? Why is there both? Jesus Christ, I hate Zoomers. Well, let's not hate Zoomers. All right. I mean, that's not worthwhile of hating them. They bought a T-shirt. Like, I don't think that's a reason to hate them. But to each their own. That just means that they were unaware of something, but they weren't doing it out of malice, right? Like, they weren't going, I'm not going to look this up because fuck the older people, right? I don't know. That's kind of where I come at from that. There's also traverse the white light from behind. Oh, that's what it is. Okay, got it. Gen Z only be knowing Giga Chad Nirvana. Yeah, I mean, Gen Z is fine. They're like every other generation that's ever existed. Like, every generation has looked at the next one and been like, oh, those motherfuckers don't know anything. Like, I don't think that's not new, right? Gen X looked at the millennials and were like, these motherfuckers. And then there's some of the millennials that are looking at Gen Zers. But with Iron Maiden, yeah, I mean, but I also think that's perfectly fine because who gives a shit, right? Like, I guess that's where I come at. Like, who gives a shit? You love the band, that's cool. And if they're just wearing merch but don't know the band, I don't know. That's a good opportunity to be like, hey, did you know that's a fucking cool ass band? Like, if they happen to say that they don't know it, that's like the perfect opportunity to be like, let me show you some shit. Now, they may actually not like the music. Actually, let me fuck with this fog wall real quick. Because I need to fix this while I remember to fix this. let's see if I can switch you over. I'm not doing display capture because I didn't want to capture my on-screen chat. But then again, I guess because I have the chat coming in anyway, like it doesn't make a difference. Oh, we got a couple Gen Zers. Hell yeah. Well, I think Gen Z is very cool. So, and I say that as a 33-year-old millennial. We all have issues with different generations, but I honestly don't think it's emblematic of the whole generation anyway. I don't even know who. Do we know who came up with these names? Who voted for these? Who has come up with millennial, Gen X, Gen Z, Gen Alpha? I don't get it. Who is passing out this information that what we use to call them? I've never understood. No one has. It was you, damn it, Sandwich. Sandwich. That's a year ban. That's unbelievable. I can't believe you did that. Fiverr editor, Notepad, like it's a common. I mean, it's a common thing, yes, but who's coming up with it? Like who, if that is what you're referring to? Boomers came up with. Yeah, but there's like new ones that are coming out, right? Like Gen Alpha. Has that always been in the cards? Is there a flow chart somewhere? I don't remember Gen Z coming up. It went from baby boomers. Yeah, I mean, I know I get baby boomers. Yes, I mean, I understand that term, but I don't understand. Yeah, I understand that there were terms, like there's obviously something behind the term. What I mean is, why? Why did we? I'm wondering who came out and said we should call it this because of the millennium. That's why they're called millennials. Who said that? I've never been able to trace that back. Who is, like, it doesn't fucking matter, but I just from a curiosity standpoint, what? Yeah, once again, I understand there are reasonings behind those terms. I'm saying, who is coming up with this? Who is voting on this? Who? Continuing the alphabetical sequence from Gen Y. Yeah, but see, they don't call it Gen Y. Literally, I've never heard anyone say Gen Y in my life. But that makes more sense with Gen Z, I guess. But once again, I'm saying we need to think beyond that. Who is agreeing to this? Why it, and the weird thing is, it's always just become, at least in my life, it's always just been, that is the way that it is. No one has ever said in my life, ever, I've never seen anyone talk about it of, oh yeah, here's where that started, and this person said this, and then they voted on this, or it was passed down from this. I guess I just don't understand. I don't get who started these things. Who gives a shit? I guess that's where I just don't understand it. We went from Coomer to Zoomer to Boomer. Yeah. I don't know why we feel the need to categorize people into those bullshit titles. Like, it's so weird. I don't know. Like the fact that there's a 1 year difference. Well, that means you're a millennial and then you're a Zoomer. Who gives a shit? Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox. I think I will switch it to. Okay, we're gonna test something out real quick. We're gonna test something out. This might be awful, and it might not work. And yes, it went black. Don't worry about it. It's all good in the hood. Okay. Okay. So we got display capture back. Good. Which means you can see my overlay, which includes the chat that I see. But now you can see it, which is, good. So I think if I take the borders off, yes, good. I can customize the look of it later, but that's good. So now the chat will be up here, and I don't need to like do it double where there's one for me, one for you guys. Cool, great. And now it's on display capture, which, that might make the game run better. That's true, because game capture versus display capture, it depends on the game, how they like it. Some games will be like, fuck this. Also, with game capture, you guys don't get the benefit of reshade because of the way it's capturing it. It's like capturing, it's hooking in before reshade has taken effect. So you guys were missing out on gorgeous ambient occlusion, which I know you guys were very sad about, obviously. Okay. What was I doing? Yeah, I was loading up Dark Root Garden. I need to fix. Uh, yeah, post processing. I probably, if I need to save performance, I could just turn off the reshade shit I'm using just temporarily. Anyway, but I've always known that Dark Root Garden is the worst performant area, so I might just end up putting Dark Root Garden back to default. Oh, it's probably all the grass I added. Oh shit, all this grass is set to render all the time. Oh no. Oh no. That's bad. That's bad news bears, guys. It ain't worth the performance hit. Oh, that's bad. Fuck. The only recognized generation name is baby boomers. They really did boom those babies. That's true. They were banging from sun up to sun down, apparently. It's crazy. Not a condom in sight. Okay, well, we have a bit of a problem with the draw groups, as it's going to be a real bitch to pick each one of these little bushels, because you'll see they're all set to draw groups of 0, which means that they render almost all the time. There's technically one setting better than that. But I fucked myself. Like the baby boomers were fucking each other, I have fucked myself. Because the performance, this would be a large reason as to why the performance is dog shit in this area, is because they're set to render earlier than they should. Okay, well, let's see. Let's see what we can do here. Okay, so I think we have. Wait, which one is? Wait, that's 2200. All right. Let's see if we can grab all these objects. Oh my god. I don't even think, to be honest, I don't even know if the grass is worth it. Like, I don't think anyone gave a shit about the grass I added to Dark Root Garden. Like, I don't think it was a huge deal because it's not that bright. Like, I think this was sort of my side project that wasn't really worth much, unfortunately. Um, Oh, what's up, Mortal Crux? Once again, anytime Mortal Crux joins the chat, I always have to say, Mortal Crux is an indie video game, and if you have not wish listed that on Steam, that's a year ban. That's unforgivable. You have to go to Steam, and you have to wish list the hell out of Mortal Crux. It looks really cool. Big inspiration is Morrowind, and it has like this really cool camera angle, and so it's not like your normal Souls like behind, but it has almost like a fixed camera style setup a little bit, but you can tilt it, but in certain areas. It's super cool. So please do it. Otherwise, I will find you. Yeah, action RPG. It's sick as hell. Wait, hold on. Let me let me do something real quick. Let me do something. Okay. All right. Because I think I'm the master of the universe here, and I'm allowed to do this. I put a link in chat. I think it worked. You're now legally required to hit that link, go to the Steam page, and then wishlist it, because it's really cool. Yeah, it did show up. Look at that. And how have I been? I've been good. I've been really good. How is the Mortal Crux been doing? I've been seeing the updates on Twitter, and it looks sick as hell, as it always has been. All the tech upgrades that you post of like, oh, this one's casting shadows, this is doing this. I'm always like, oh fuck yeah, doing good. Hell yeah, love to see it. Hopefully the wish lists are continuously coming in. If they are not, I will find everybody and I will force them. I will force them to do it. God damn it! I gotta find a good way to fit. Okay, see, look at this. I fixed this grass. This has draw groups. But this grass, I was a dummy and I did not put draw groups on this. Oh, from the question earlier of aren't there LODs for that? Well, yeah, I mean, yes. But so basically, the way that Dark Souls 1 specifically has a LOD system, they do have a LOD param. It's not used a lot. It was used in Prepare to Die edition to where, yeah, when you would go far enough away, and it was actually noticeable in Prepare to Die edition, where you would go far enough away, the like crates, for instance, would like become this weird fucking garbled mesh that was technically easier to render, but it looked fucking awful. Like, so their LOD system never really worked. So the way that they primarily did it is that every object, because there's map pieces, objects, enemies, the player, and then there's events and scripting and all that stuff. But basically, as far as like map pieces or objects go, they all have a set of draw groups. And those are set by the actual collision, which the collisions are which you can't actually see them in Dark Souls Remastered projects, but they're basically geometric meshes that match the meshes that are in the game, and they're based, at least in this game, they're based on Havoc, and that's where your character walks on. And there's different ones for different areas, and they all connect to different draw groups. And so, based upon what collision you're in Dark Souls 1, it will render different things that have their own draw groups set. Do they use real LODs they actually modeled? Yeah, I believe it's not actually ones they modeled, no. They had it's some system that generated this sort of deformation, and it was fucking awful. And so Dark Souls Remastered, they basically pushed out the LODs to where they essentially turned them off. They turned off the LODs because it was a shit ass system and it wasn't switching to anything real and it was awful looking. So they basically were like, well, fuck this. Because obviously this game is not geometrically dense, right? It's not. It could run on a calculator, you know? Well, not really, but you get my point. It's not geometrically dense. The amount of triangles on screen is pretty low. And they never, unfortunately, QLock didn't do any sort of tessellation. That's unfortunate. I wish they would have put in some sort of tessellation support. Unless they're doing it, I don't know of it, but I highly doubt it from the sharp edges I've seen and the low poly count. I can only do so much with parallax occlusion mapping. Yeah, exactly. Very low poly by today's standards. 1000%. It is a very low geometric game by today's standards. And so that's why, it can run. It runs like butter by default, Yeah, old game, and it is. It's just an old game, and it was built for PS3, and even by those standards, they're not tech wizards. So like they didn't get the max out of the PS3 or 360, obviously. But yeah, they have a very manual LOD system where, because actually there's so many errors in this game. Where this is a good example. This is actually new distant stuff I added. The distant Undead Burg by default looks worse than this, but well, actually maybe not. Maybe this is actually the official one. I don't fucking remember, but anyway, it's actually a pretty good fake if it is the original fake. Anyway, let's assume you're in Undead Burg. So when you would step your big toe right over this line here, it would activate the draw group, which would then draw Solaire's Balcony. The problem with that is, presumably they did it for performance, but I don't really think so, because it's a very low amount of, that's a very low amount of polys that are being added there. I think that was actually just a mistake, because you could notice it from here, that there was just a whole ass portion missing. Now, was it really noticeable for normal players? No, I've never seen anyone say it. So maybe it was on purpose, but I noticed it pretty quickly. And so I fixed it to where it renders Solaire's Balcony at the same time that it renders these towers. Yeah, I think. Oh, these are the fakes. Yeah, because you can tell the actual geometry is slightly worse than the already. Although this is actually pretty decent quality, and actually it's identical to the actual one that sits there. Um, what's up, Nosferatu? Yeah, they had a very manual system of LODs. And the funny thing is, because actually Trivia and I were talking about this yesterday, part of her GS3 mod, and something I had done previously, but will be part of that, is their geometry LOD system is better, but that's like saying it's better than a dumpster because DS1 really and DS2 had the same exact issues of like draw group issues and not really a good LOD system at all. But DS3 went too far the other way, where you can't walk 3 inches in that game in Dark Souls 3 without seeing geometry pop in. And I'm not talking about like the whole ass fucking thing popping in front of your face or like a whole bush popping up in front of your face. That's annoying. We see that in games still. But what it was is geometry popping to the higher quality version, high quality. And it was not, it's like popcorn popping. It was completely nonstop. And so luckily there's just an easy LOD param that you can go in there and then push out that distance to where it doesn't do that, because modern GPUs by this point don't really have an issue with the difference between their low quality variant and their high quality variant. So you can just push out that distance to where it doesn't do that anymore. And it makes a huge fucking difference because it was unbelievable how much that thing was consistently churning and just popping in the newer, higher quality version. But they at least had a functional LOD, like different meshes in it, because it at least looked like the same object. It just was lower poly. DS1, they had just the most basic ass system. That was probably a holdover straight from Demon Souls. I don't even know if Demon Souls used it. I don't think it did, because Demon Souls had the benefit of having disparate worlds that weren't connected, right? Problem is using that mod with. Oh, well, to be fair, so the Convergence mod for DS3, that thing has always ran like dog shit on my computer. I've never had the DS3 Convergence mod not run like dog shit. I don't know what they did with their draw groups. I don't know what they did with how they set that up, but it does not run great. Oh, the DS3 Cinders mod? Yeah, I've never made it all the way through the Cinders mod. I always plan to, and then I kind of drop it. Because I go, I love that they brought back life gems. That's probably my favorite thing. Okay, what am I doing? I need to, so this is object 2200. The problem is I can't, oh really, I have draw group of 0 on that as well? Ooh, how many things are set to 0? Yeah, they're all different draw groups. I might just delete the grass because I'm not even sure that it's fucking worth it. Yeah, it works so far. Yeah, the convergence works. I actually found the convergence to have a frustrating difficulty level. Not even like the level of difficulty. It was just an unfun version of difficulty, I guess is my best way of saying it. It was very like magic based and status ailment based, and I was kind of like, don't like that. Not loving that. Okay, so what if I just change... yeah, I found the convergence to just... No, I love the Elden Ring convergence mod. That, I played all the way through. I love that. That was a ton of fun. Let's actually open up a different project here. Let's open up the original project. And I will then copy draw groups from that and see if I can lower the... I know people always like me to mod on stream, so here you go. You're getting exactly what you want. As boring as I think it likely seems. But it's got to be interesting for someone, presumably. I'm having fun. Okay, so the trees there are using a draw group, thankfully. I went back through and Change that. Cinders has mini weapons where the 4 attack doesn't hit. Oof. Cooperation with Alva, or what his name, was always a crash to desktop. No way to finish his quest line. Oof. Because I don't think Cinders has... Is Cinders being, like, actively updated? I don't keep track of DS3 modding, to be honest with you. I find DS3 modding to be actually pretty boring. Hot take. I don't really... I think there's a lot of impressive mods, but I just... I don't know. I think it probably stems more from, like, my overall... Like, I love DS3, I do. But is it the one that I'm going to replay over and over? I have replayed it a lot, don't get me wrong, I have. But on my list of likely to replay as my comfort game, it is not. It is not that game. I find it stressful. I love it, but I find it stressful. Thomas Warhammer? Oh, that's a sick name. What's up, Big Dog? Yeah, this is the Big Dog community. To be fair, I got that from Andy Cortez. He says that, like, when people join the stream, he's like, what's up, Big Dog? So I kind of... Yeah, authentic modding stream. This is actually, yeah, I'm actually legitimately modding here. So hopefully... I only went in here planning to look at the fucking fog wall, but then I realized that my grass was likely causing the performance issues. So here we are. Yeah, but I took that from Andy Cortez, where, yeah, he would always say, what's up, Big Dog? And so I ended up just starting saying that. So... Wait, oh, I pulled up the same project again. Fuck me. Okay, let me pull up my unmodded DSR reference. Hot tip for anyone making Dark Souls mods. Always make sure you have a default project that has a separate game folder. So I just duplicated Dark Souls 1. And make sure you have a duplicate reference project. I love that magic regenerates for healing with magic, makes the higher difficulty. Oh... Interesting. Yeah, I think the reason why I didn't like it is that I've been the most basic bitch Dark Souls player, and I don't play magic builds. I just don't have any interest in it, unfortunately. But I've never played magic builds in World of Warcraft. I didn't play it in Morrowind either, but that's also because Morrowind was fucking hilarious with how its spells worked. So maybe that's my origin story of where I went, you know what? Fuck magic. I'm not doing it because it's absolute ass in Morrowind. Ranged was also hilarious. Anyone who went through that game with like a fucking bow, that's crazy. That's crazy, dog. There's no way. Ain't no way. But I heal with magic? Yeah, I mean, when I played like Oblivion, I think, is when they added like you could have your hands out. And, well, I mean, you could always have your hands out, but you know what I mean. Like one could have a healing spell. And, like, yeah, I would use healing for that. Because I was like, I need to fucking heal. I think that's been my problem with, like, Dragon's Dogma 1 specifically. Is the healing system. I just fucking hate. I just hate it. Even if I have a pawn healing, it's like an actual, like, placement. And then I have to be nearby it. And, like, I get that that's friction. And friction is necessary in games, but it's also like, damn, I fucking hate that. Like, that's just kind of part of where I'm at, where I'm like, fuck, I hate it. It's so annoying. I just want an Estus flask. I understand that I've been ruined by that. But not even that. Like, I'm okay with the health vials or blood vials for Bloodborne and the grass in Demon Souls because it was offset by the fact that everybody could drop them. As far as I know. Everyone could drop them. So, like, I could always get more. In Dragon's Dogma, they're like, go check your pants and see if you have any food. Okay, I don't want to bring up my inventory and then have to guzzle down, you know, a dozen nuts. Yes, you could clip that out, and that's not going to sound great. I do not care. But it just was like, fuck me, man, that sucks. That sucks. That's not cool. All the homies don't like that. At least I don't. Yeah, you can farm them. Yeah, gobble down these nuts. Well, I just... In that game, I just hated bringing up the inventory screen. Like it was such a break of the action. It also reminds me of like, well, maybe that's why I can't get into Fallout games, because in Fallout it feels so weird to me to just be in the mix of action, and then it just goes, all right, I'm gonna pull up this inventory screen and chug down a bunch of shit, and then I have full health again. Okay, that's weird. I don't know. Similar to Skyrim having to pause. Yeah, exactly. Fallout. Yeah, it I hate it. I don't know. I just there's something about it. I fucking for Fallout, it brings me out so fast when I have to bring that fucking screen open, and I can't do it. Like you are a bandit in Skyrim and you see the Dragonborn stop and eat 50 cheese wheels to heal himself. Yeah, it's got to be like, oh god damn, I'm running away from this guy. He it's just I don't know. There's something about that I get that that's like old style, but I also think that's old style that could be left in the past. But that's kind of what Dragon's Dogma was. It was and even 2 is still that game. I found it easier to like. I think Dragon's Dogma 2 is just easier. I think it's just an easier game. Like, because I had way more issue with 1. 2, I'm just jamming. I'm just leveled up. Problem is, no one's really giving me a challenge anymore. So like, and I've heard that from a lot of people. They're like, yeah, I ended up just leveling to where, and I wasn't doing it on purpose, but like now nothing is a challenge. Like all the big enemies that I was really afraid of, and that's what made Dragon's Dogma 2 really fun, is those encounters, right? But pretty soon I was a high enough level, seemingly, to where nothing was really killing me anymore. Also, can we talk about the enemy variety? I love Dragon's Dogma 2. Overall, I love it. I haven't finished it. I haven't gone back to it. But the enemy variety is just unforgivable. It's unforgivable. I genuinely don't understand how they had that few enemies. Like, it's the same as Dragon Dogma 1. Like, I don't get it. How do you. Oh, you've only played Fallout 1 and 2? That's interesting. Yeah, Fallout 1 and 2, I have very limited knowledge of, other than it's like the isometric looking kind of really cool. I think they should go back to make another one of those, right? I think there's a market certainly for that. I don't think I would play it. I unfortunately have dropped out of most two-dimensional games, which I don't say is like a good thing. I think it's, I don't know. I'm not sure why I haven't really been able to play 2D games for a while. Yeah, exactly. Like, dog, we're like fucking 12 years later, and you haven't added more enemy variety. It's a bit indefensible. You know. Yeah, that's true. I've heard the Wasteland is sort of like the successor to the classic Fallouts, for sure. Um, Also, Bethesda homies. Can we talk about this Fallout 4 PC update? Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Like, it doesn't do anything. I understand the update was mostly for consoles, but bro, why did you update it on PC? It didn't do anything. It broke a shit ton of mods. And no graphical updates. Like, there's that ultra wide thing, but that's broken. So why? Why did you do that? I don't I don't get it. Yeah, I just genuinely don't understand the thinking of like, and then they even beforehand were like, now we've taken extra care to not break mods, or maybe they said not break them as much, or like keep compatibility, and it's like, so that was a fucking like, no, you were wrong. Like you've been wrong every time you said that. Like so, um, I don't know, man. Yeah, the reason I moved to Dark Souls as a Skyrim player. Yeah, because honestly, yeah, Dark Souls like unlocked a part of my brain when I really got into it in like 2020. I haven't been able to play a Bethesda game since, and I can't really say I blame Bethesda directly for that. Also, I realize I'm not really modding almost at all here. I'm just sort of like talking because I enjoy the conversation. Do you recommend playing with mods on a first playthrough of 3, New Vegas 4, or better if I go full vanilla? I'll be honest, I'm not even really the one to ask for that, as I haven't played through Fallout 3, New Vegas, or 4. I've played more 4 than I have. No, I played more 3 than I did of 4. In New Vegas, I've played the least because New Vegas is buggy as fuck. It still is. Like, I guess all of them are buggy, right? Like, they're Bethesda games. But New Vegas, I spent 5 hours modding New Vegas one time. Straight modding it. Only to get into New Vegas, and it immediately crashed. And I went, I'm going to yeet this from my hard drive so fast. I will never do this again. Now, of course, I was wrong, and I did it again. But I didn't mod that much. I went, fuck it. I'm not going to mod that much. And I can't get into it. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I probably play Reevesy, appreciate all the hard work. Yeah, I would install the stability stuff. Like for New Vegas, running it with DXVK to run it under Vulkan, highly recommended. Did help. Yeah, exactly. Randomly testing mods. And like, because after that, I was like, fuck, man, okay. I just can't get into it. I don't know why. I want to be able to get into it. And it's no shade on the game itself, right? I hold nothing against the game. I just can't. But to be fair, have I been able to get back into like an Elder Scrolls game? No. I've never been able to get into one again, and it sucks because oh, these are the map piece ones. Oh god, I forgot I had some of them as map pieces. Fuck. Are these all similar ones? Shit, where's that one? Oh, that's that one over there. All right. Well, let's select all of them and see what fucking happens. Because if the grass disappears, I don't give a shit. I don't give a goddamn shit. Not right now. I'll fix it later. Yeah, let's copy this draw group. Draw group 1. You need to be a fan of Fallout 1 and 2 first. Oh, really? Like the lore and the factions? I guess for me, it wasn't as much a lore reason I didn't get into it. The gameplay was not doing it, you know? I was just not doing it. I just didn't care. And I think, do you like any Souls-like game that is not from software? Yeah, Lies of P. Oh, yeah. Lives of P is fucking, I think I just said Lives of P, but Lies of P. Fuck yeah. Love that game. Finished the shit out of that game. It was so good. I do want to play Stellar Blade once it comes to PC. You know, not just for the big titties, you know, obviously, for the culture. Okay, so I changed that grass. That should be a slight benefit here. So let's do 2200, I guess. Yeah, the Remnant games I have not tried yet. There's a part of me that doesn't think a shooting Souls game, I don't know. And first person is, no, it's third person. There's just something about it that for when it comes to like Souls games, I'm just a big medieval guy. I don't know. The sci-fi kind of like shooting, I don't know. Oh, the demo wasn't really that fun except for the boss. Yeah, personal preference on that one for sure. Like, it's not going to be for everyone. I definitely think it's more of a balance of like, there's definite Sekiro energy with Stellar Blade, more so than like Dark Souls. So I think it does depend on, and I'm a hoe for Sekiro. I think it's my least favorite. Like, I love Sekiro, and I think it's a masterpiece. I do. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely do think that it is. Oh yeah, I do need to play the Aggro Crab or Crab's Treasure. That looks actually really good. Sekiro is just, it's the hardest one for me. And I hate every time you say that, there has to be one person who pops in. And it might happen now, where someone will pop in and say, oh, that's by far the easiest FromSoft game. And I go, I disagree. And now of course that's subjective. But I think there's a lot backing that up in that Sekiro is the most narrow in gameplay style of any of their games. you need to have a certain play style. Like, it is not like a Souls game. I don't consider it a Souls game. Yeah, that's by far the easiest for Echevel. That's a year ban, 100%. No, it's because and Miyazaki has talked about this. It is very specifically the narrowing into you need to play that way, 100%. You have to play the way that they want you to play that game to be good at it. There is a defined style that you need to adapt and learn. So it is not like a Souls game where you can play it in a lot of different ways and you can over level to go past this or farm for that, or you can just get better armor, or you can get better. Sekiro doesn't have that. Sekiro is very much, and I love it, and I think it's a 10 out of 10, and I fucking love my time with it. And it took me 5 times to get into that game, and then I just rewired my brain and I played it like 3 times. But it is telling you and it is teaching you how to play the way that it wants you to play. So I think that's why I don't have as much love or like absolute addiction to it as I do the Dark Souls games. Even though I play the Dark Souls games in a basic bitch fashion. And I do. But I like the freedom that I can play it more so the way that I want. And Sekiro is very much not that way. It is like, you better fucking learn to parry and stop looking at enemy health bars generally, and you should get the posture system and whatnot. But I still think it's brilliant and a 10 out of 10, and it's one of my best games. Some of my best gaming moments have been in Sekiro. Beating the Sword Saint, like, are you fucking kidding me? I was shaking. Ooh, man, I was living. That was my gaming Rushmore moment, was beating Ishin for the first time. Unbelievable. And there's so many epic moments in the boss fights, and just that game, so good. But yes, I prefer their Dark Souls games if I had to pick. Okay, so now a lot of them do have draw groups, so that's good. Hopefully that will help with perf a little bit, a little bit. Let's do. Oh yeah, the fog wall. Shit, I need to remember where that fog wall is. Okay, I need to remember where that fog wall is. Oh, got it. So this is the door. We head this way. And the fog wall is here, I believe. Yeah. Is the most epic and satisfying, but yes, very narrowed. However, if you get hold of it, it's probably the best gameplay against. Yeah, I mean, I think in terms of gameplay, like how satisfying the combat is, yes, there's absolutely an argument there for like, it is the best. Like, it's so satisfying. And I still love play. I went back to it a couple weeks ago, and I was just fucking having so much fun. I even did a Sekiro randomizer. That was crazy. Don't recommend it. It got pretty bananas, but so fun. And I like that, like, I was bad at something, because that's a big draw to the FromSoft games, is I was fucking bad at it and I needed to get better. Sekiro, when I tried the other 4 times, I would get frustrated and just go, fuck this, and I don't know what's happened after that I've been able to just unhook that part of my brain, and I no longer get frustrated. I just go, hell yeah, I hope that they destroy me for another like 3 hours. I don't know why my brain has made that switch, but it has. And I now just go, like Lady Maria, I would be happy if I could just fight her for the rest of my gaming life and never beat her, because her fight is so much fun, and I wish she was tougher. Unfortunately, she is not. She is unfortunately very weak and easy to parry, and it trivializes a fight that I think should be harder, such as life. That's a small criticism, of course. I do think the more I think about it, Bloodborne has got to be my favorite. I think I've played the least of Bloodborne out of all the games, just because it's only on PlayStation. Like, so I just don't have as much, accessibility to play it. But I think it's like the most special game they've made. She gave me hell in my first playthrough, but yeah, if you're very aggressive, yeah, you have to. I think if you get out of step with like her dance and how that functions, it can be much more difficult. But once you're in the swing of like her dance, it's just, oh, it's so good. But once I learned you could basically parry the absolute shit out of her, that sucked. It's a bit overrated. The combat system against groups of enemies is chaotic. I will admit, I fucking hate groups of enemies in Sekiro. I just don't think it. I hate it. Yeah, I fucking. It just doesn't work. But 1v1, it's great. What's the current state of modding with DS1? Is it possible to bake lighting in Blender? I believe in some way it is. I don't know how to. I'm waiting for the Blender Soulstruct plugin sort of setup to, because Grim had teased that you would be able to rebake lighting, but that was months ago, and as far as I can tell, it hasn't been added. So I'm sort of waiting for that because I'm sure, obviously, there's a way. I think there's a way to do it. I'm just not a Blender expert, and then getting it into a format that Dark Souls 1 will accept and use, like, yeah. So that one I'm a little, and I was also talking to the DSR shader overhaul guy. I kind of DM with him back and forth every once in a while and be like, because he was talking about rebaking the lighting, right, for the entire game. And he was like, yeah, but there's a lot of LOD sort of map pieces. And I was like, actually, that's where my knowledge comes in, because I basically live in these maps. And I was like, no, actually, there's not. I can tell you the map pieces in each map that basically just ignore those. And then here's the real map pieces that you would bake with. And he was like, oh, shit. That's sick. Finally, my DS1 knowledge had a use where I fucking live. So here's the thing. The SFX is the same. It's correct. There's an SFX that's being referenced. There's a region point. So is it the draw groups? Oh, I think it's draw groups. Oh, that's what it. Got it. Figured it out. I had it set to the part name. So, okay. Here's a tip for anyone modding Dark Souls 1. It'll be applicable to 3 people in the entire world. What is this concept of baked lighting I keep hearing about in mods? What's the difference between lighting between baked and dynamic? Oh, yeah. I mean, so the way that they call it baking, like they could call it static lighting. That's the other way they call it. Basically, baked lighting is honestly how you should do it for the majority of things in a game, like trees or landscapes or buildings. Anything that doesn't move ever in your game should have baked lighting that is basically a texture that is applied on top of the texture that's already there, but it's applied to the surface, a shadow. But it's not an actual one that is being cast dynamically. It's not being cast by a light source. It is being artistically drawn onto the surface. And the reason they do that is it's more performant, like 100%. It's just absolutely more performant, and you can control it, right? And so I, unfortunately, with the way I'm doing it, okay, so here's I guess let me back up. The problem is baked lighting doesn't age very well. So if it's 10 years later, however they baked the lighting and at what resolution they baked the lighting back then, 10 years later, it ain't going to look that good. It's probably, if they didn't bake it at a high resolution or however they did it, it's not going to age well. And to be fair, dynamic lighting also doesn't age as well because it depends on the resolution of the shadows that are being cast. And so, they both have their downsides. But the reason why I'm going with dynamic for my Dark Souls 1 mod is because, A, it's more accurate. The baked shadows they had and the baked lighting, a lot of it was not great and looked kind of shitty. And they also darkened a bunch of areas that should have actual lighting and like sunlight hitting them. But they baked it in a certain way that it just covered a lot of that. And so it could be artistic things. Damn, you're alive. Hello. they didn't bake the lighting particularly great. And to be fair, that's extended into DS2 and DS3. The baked lighting, they baked a shit ton of things and covered things in darkness that weren't actually realistically to be covered in darkness with their own coordinates for their sun. So like, can you have dynamic shadows in baked lighting? No. So I mean, they're opposite things, right? So baked lighting means static, in that it doesn't move. It's always there. It doesn't need to be rendered. I mean, it is rendered, but like it's just there. A dynamic shadow is just the complete opposite of that, where it's actually being rendered at runtime as your character is going through that area, right? Like that is a shadow that is actually using computational resources to produce. And the reason why you do that is, and this is what FromSoft does. So basically, they use dynamic shadows on the things that made sense to use dynamic shadows. They would use dynamic shadows on characters and enemies because those things move. So you can't have a texture pasted on the ground because those things move. So the shadow would stay static, but the player would start moving that way, and the shadow wouldn't go with them. A dynamic shadow continues with whatever object that is casting that, or however your light setup is working. But that's why that is done. Like for destructible environments, you obviously have dynamic shadows, because if you're blowing up a building, you need the shadows to be cast as the thing is exploding and moving and bricks are moving and all that. And so that's kind of the constant thing you're going between. But realistically, you should be baking most everything else. If it's not destructible or movable, you should just really be baking that, personally. But of course, I'm not a development expert, so there's obviously better people to speak about that than me. Ray tracing and global illumination, I'm guessing, is another type of dynamic lighting. Well, so that's also interesting, is those are technically they're not outside of that conversation, but basically what they commonly do is they will use ray tracing global illumination, RTGI, or you do RT, or you do GI without ray tracing. There's all different types of solutions. But basically you can run that as they're making the game, and then they can bake that global illumination onto the scene. So you get the benefit of a high quality looking global illumination, but you're not doing it in real time dynamically because, well, there's not really much of a point depending on which objects you're applying that to. So so day-night cycles is a thing that you have to kind of you can't do baked shadows for that. If it is a genuine real-time night and day cycle. We'll add havoc to breakable objects. Well, I mean, it does have, but it does use havoc for its physics. Dark Souls, I mean, even back to Demon Souls, they had used havoc physics. So that is their destructible physics system is all havoc based. And it's actually still really good compared to some other games that, I think it was Lords of the Fallen that used like the Unreal built-in like physics thing. Honestly looked worse when you destroyed a barrel than even what like Dark Souls 1 was doing in 2011 with when you destroy crates. Like, is it realistic in Dark Souls 1? No. Technically, thanks to light baking, the loss of ray tracing performance could be avoided. Well, exactly. So the benefit to ray tracing isn't necessarily, but broken barrels stay in air. Well, that's more so just an issue on FromSoft side. It's not really a havoc issue because they do use havoc, but like they have an issue with how their objects break and then you reset the area and then they're still there. That's not so much a havoc issue because most of the time, like with enemies, you can push the enemy around. I think I know what you're saying. You wish that the barrel, once you broke the barrel, the pieces of the barrel, you could continuously move around. Yeah, they disable that because that would be obviously more CPU intensive to do that. So the only ones they allow you to do that on are enemies, and they ragdoll around. I haven't watched your vids in a long time. Do you get to go over every area of... Oh, did you get to go over every area? I've still been working on it. I mean, that's what I'm working on today. Um, doing a lot of, I've done every area multiple times, sometimes undoing previous work. Oh yeah, the fog wall. I was fixing the fog wall. Son of a bitch. I'm really bad at focusing. So basically, here's a call out for anyone that is curious of how the special effects work in this game, and also just the way that Dark Souls 1 rendering can work in a lot of ways, is basically uh, there's a region point here, which is this little triangular, whatever fucking geometric shape you want to call it. Yeah, Elden Ring has dynamic shadows and baked shadows for sure. Yeah, there's always a combination of the two. Because the torches did not cast shadows. Yes, so Dark Souls 3 also doesn't have cast shadows from the torch by default. But I was able to figure out the tweak in the SFX that enables that, and they've also been able to enable that for Elden Ring using a DLL. It's fucking stupid. I don't know why they didn't have that as an option. Is there any application of AI in modding as of yet? No, I mean, I've used AI upscaling. That's obviously been in the community for a long time. Other than that, there's nothing AI based that I'm aware of. The AI voice stuff, I'm not a big fan of. I understand for mod projects, you don't have the money to like pay voice actors, but I would prefer you just had text than just AI voice related things, because commonly they're using actual samples of actual voice actors. So yeah, Elden Ring has a shit ton of dynamic shadows and baked shadows. It's always a combination of the two. I can't think of a game that has only dynamic or only baked. Like, there's always been a combination of the two for ages. Like, even Morrowind. You go all the way back to Morrowind, it had dynamic shadows for the characters. And it had all the issues that go along with that. And they fly through floors, and you could see, a character's shadow 3 floors down. Like, there were dynamic shadow issues, but and they were like stencil ones, and they were pretty fucking ugly. But anyway, here is a region point. Does your DSRR mod make casting spells have dynamic lights? No. I have not messed with any sort of spell SFX difference, because I'm not even sure that's possible to enable dynamic light casting from them more than just illumination, which baked into the SFX. But Dark Souls 1 just doesn't have a lot of the shadow casting technology that Dark Souls 2 has. Yeah, exactly. Morrowind with the perfect character shadows cast all the way through the fucking world. Like, yeah, classic dynamic shadow problem. And which is what cracked me up when I started working on Dark Souls 1. And you would notice that a lot of the times where, and this is just how it was in the default game, where there's a barrel 3 floors up, and because it's an object, it's set to shadow cast. Occasionally they would turn certain barrels to not shadow cast because it was interior and there was no dynamic light anyway, because there is no dynamic light other than sun. But you would see that barrel 3 floors down, you would see the shadow, and you're like, well, okay. Yeah, basically in the later Dark Souls games, they improved their tech for sure, in that shadows commonly wouldn't just fly through surfaces. Dark Souls 3, I haven't had any of those issues, which has been nice. Anyway, oh my god, I'm gonna finish this. I gotta get better at it. It's gonna sound bad, but I got to get a full thought out without seeing chat, because I love chat. But the region point here is what controls where the fog wall shows up, and so obviously you can move that around, and it's referencing the actual special effect that is the fog wall, which is SFX Japanese characters CP1, and then you'll see inside here. No, I don't want to close chat. I have it coming up on screen. I love chat. I love it. This is why modding on stream, I commonly don't do it, because I'm so less efficient just by default. There's just no way not to, because there's chat and I can't. It's hard for me. I'm not a multitasker, so I'm going to be bad at it. But anyway, the part name here Basically, that fog wall is directly tied to this part name, which is 1570B0. 1570B0 is this map piece right here, which is highlighted. So basically, it is inheriting whenever this is rendered, it should be rendering that fog wall, unless there's specific cases in the event scripting that you've already gone through that fog wall, so therefore it should not show up. But if that has not happened, it should be rendered when map piece 1570 is being rendered. Now you can unhook that, thankfully, and you can tell it, and interestingly enough, you have to leave it blank. And that will tell the game engine, render that shit no matter what the fuck 1570 is doing. We don't give a shit anymore. It's really annoying. I mean, it's nice that that's an option. So that's the thing. It's not part of the map piece because it's all based on this region point here that you can move. So it's directly connected to this region point, but it's not actually a part of the 1570. They're both separate things, but you can reference each other. That's kind of how they had their particle effects set up. But that's a nice little fix where you can basically tell them to say, fuck it, just render it. Don't worry about it. And then these blue objects are actually the thing that handles the walking through the fog wall. They bundle in the collision that actually stops you from going through them. That's actually what handles that. In case anyone was wondering of inside baseball bullshit of Dark Souls. Okay, let's save that before I forget. I'm going to get some trail mix, you know? I'm going to get some goddamn trail mix. That sounds real good right now. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Kind of. A little bit. Let me copy it again. I'll try not to smack on the mic too much. Huh. Well, let's reload and see if performance is any better now that the grass has different draw groups. We can hope so. Fingers crossed. Oh my god, we got a fucking fog wall. Oh shit. Hey, what the fuck? God damn it. Alright, I still fucked something up. Hold on. God damn it. Okay, well what did I do? Is one of the objects not here or something? Maybe. Wait. Yeah, no collision on it, which is normally handled by these objects, so clearly something here. Or no, these are, oh, these are just the events. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit my ass. Sorry. I deleted this object here. Fuck. God damn it. Yeah, I deleted the object, 2906. Oops. This is why you always have a backup project that you can pull from. And so anytime it wants you to know what you need, you go to your other project and you can just steal that shit. So, all right, let's steal, and it does collision 004, which is fine. Now this object doesn't really have much of a display. Oh, what did I steal? Oh, I duplicated a gargoyle. Well, such is life. But yeah, you basically just need to copy over the entity ID, and you just copy over everything, because that object is not like an actual mesh or anything you have to pull over. It just gets referenced. So you just copy the coordinates from your reference project over to my actual project, and it will then fly to exactly the area I need it to be in. Let's do the rotation as well. That's important. Okay, we got the scale, we got that, we got the map. We don't need this. To be honest, I don't know what the SIB path does. Some things have them, some things don't. Doesn't seem to be a rhyme or reason. You know? Not my job, not my prob. Why the hell is it drawing it by the reflect cam? That's fucking weird. No, yeah, let me explain a little bit better about what happened there. So, essentially, on my reference project on the left here, you see this little purple box. This purple box is an actual object, and its only purpose, because it's not visible in game, the only purpose it has is to be a collision for the fog wall, so you can't walk through it, right? Because that's what I broke in my game, in my mod. So anytime that I need to create an object, because I had deleted this purple box or pink box in a previous change to the mod like an idiot, I deleted it. And basically, I needed to create a new object for this map. So the easy way to do it is you basically just pull out any random ass object you want from the list here, which I could have grabbed any of them. I just happened to grab 1300, which was a gargoyle, it turns out. You know, fancy that. And then basically you just duplicate it. And then you use that duplicated object. And the fun thing is, you can actually shift it into any object that you want. You can duplicate that gargoyle like I did, and then you literally go over here and you click on model name, and it's O2906. That's the actual indicator for this pink box, where 1300 is the indicator for the gargoyle. So basically you just steal 2906, paste it into the model name here, bingo bongo, it's now a pink box. DS Map Studio is smart enough to just go, oh shit, okay, cool. So it's now the pink box, got it, because it knows what it's referencing, right? Based on that name. and then you rename the object up here. But that was just my janky way of getting the pink box back, basically. And then you set the entity ID, because that's what sets it to control, you know, when it's there and when it's not. Because that'll turn it off once you've already gone through the fog wall. So that's how it knows not to always cock block your way through the area. Okay, I think we have it. Okay, let's try again. That's been on my list for a long time. I just kept forgetting to do it. Somebody bitched at me about that, rightfully so. I think months ago, frankly. So it's about damn time I fixed it. That's why the streams and making the videos is actually super helpful for mod making. I find shit I forgot to do or didn't know I had to do by making the videos. Oh, look at this. This is a beautiful sight. I am blocked by a fog wall once again. You'll love to see it. Performance seems better. Because I think it's not rendering like 5,000 blades of grass at once. So, that's kind of nice. Okay, I need to hit the fake tree that is gyrating. Thank you, big dog. He definitely classifies as big dog. Or he gets classified as that. Miyazaki is so fucking weird for these little, I think my favorite joke is watching Andy Cortez's DS1 playthrough. And he's like, that's for Steve Irwin, bitch. And I'm like, alright. That's my kind of humor right there. That's good. That's crafty. R.I.P. Steve Irwin. Justice for Steve Irwin. Oh, God damn it! I'm out of Mountain Dew. Oh, there's a second one. Can these jabronis attack you? I don't think so. Alright, let's get the Sif real quick, you know? Let's just fuck. Oh, yeah, that's the way I came in. Building here. Got a little phantom action. No, that goes back towards the start, I think. That's Jabroni waking up. We're just gonna run past all these dudes. Oh shit, did I hit a dead end? Oh fuck, I hit a dead end. Okay, I changed my mind, guys. We're now friends, and I don't blame you for Steve Irwin anymore. I've changed my tune through difficulty. I can confirm I am lost. Wait, it's probably in the building, right? I think. Maybe? I don't know. This was just a fucking wall. Oh. Oh shit, do I actually have to go this way? Oh, okay. I've played this game for 1,400 hours. Don't question my knowledge. I know things. I don't get confused after 5,000 years of playing this game. Oh, I just tried to kick him in the gooch. Damn, this weapon is fucking strong at +7. It's weird. Wait, that's back to the start. Damn it. I need the skip. I need the skip to Sif. Oh, fuck me, dude. Holy shit, you came in hot, bro. Wait, did I one-shot him? Huh. Alright. Cool. Well, I mean, there's not a way to, like, you can't skip Sif, but there's a way to get to him without using the Crest of Artorias. I'm just having a brain fart as to actually doing it. I swear to God. Oh. Wait, what the fuck? Is that... I haven't adjusted collisions in Darkroot Garden. Is that just a bug? Because I saw a bunch of messages in front of it. Oh shit, is that just where a collision is broken? How have I never noticed that? Because I legit have not adjusted collisions. And I haven't touched them in Darkroot Garden. I think that's how it is. What the fuck? Or no, maybe... No, I think I know what that is. That still would be my fuck up. Maybe. I may have moved a map piece, but when you move one and then you don't change the collision or even adjust it, like, you're just going to fly through it. Interesting. Okay. Huh. But there were a bunch of messages in front of it, so I don't know. Interesting. I gotta look at that. Very much enjoying the mod, but have a small question. Yeah, what's up, Wayward Python? Cool name. Let's go to Firelink Shrine. You know what? Fuck Darkroot Garden. I'm tired of it. I've had enough. When I rest at a bonfire near Hellkite Bridge, I get 160 souls. Yeah. It could be some fuck up on my part of a collision thing. I don't know. I've had that happen too, yeah. Now there are some things in the game where that does happen by default. It's just a bug in the original game, but yeah, that is new, and I think it... Oh shit, hold on. I think I know what it is. I think I just fixed it. I know what it is. Hold on. I know what I did. I think this is for... We'll see. I have a hunch what that could be. Because I made a change to the Hellkite Bridge a long time ago, and then I undid that change. But did I undo every part of it? No, I did not. Check this out. This was my fuck up. Yep. So, yeah, I know it is actually an easy way to level up. Too bad. It's been ruined. No, so basically I made this part of the bridge traversable, right? The bridge, the part that's not normally. Because originally in the game it was set to be, you know, they even had the door open, but then they had closed it with like collisions, right? So I just sliced it open and let you run this way, which was cool, you know, whatever. And I added these two enemies back here. But guess who forgot to remove the enemies? So now when you spawn here, these enemies fall through the fucking ground because there's no collision over here. My dumbass just didn't think to remove the enemies. So yoink, dunzo. Wow, that's a huge bug fix that would have been so rarely popped into my head, but thank God you asked that. I know, easy farm. That's where you just never update the mod. Never update the mod. Stay with 0.95 or older, you're good to go. You can have an infinite farm fest. Oh, it's been fixed. That's glorious. I kept having that happen and I wasn't sure what was going on. Now there are certain cases where that does actually happen. Yeah, 2 times 80 souls. Yep. Yeah. And I'm like, there's 2 hollows. Yeah. But yeah, there are instances in the game where, because Illusory Walls made some videos on that, where there are some where it's just like a bug in the actual game where they do fall and they give you souls at certain different areas, like when you're going upstairs somewhere. And I think they had to use like a debug camera to try to figure out what was happening. But yeah, that's the fun part of DS1 modding, is I'm constantly, and I've said this before, yeah, there's the Basilisk, yes, 100%. Yeah, Wayward Python, you have officially, that is a self-own, for sure. No, I do appreciate it, because that is actually something I didn't want to have happen, and I totally forgot about it. Crap, what was I talking about before that? Yeah, the Basilisk, yes. That is the one that is the very well-known just issue. Oh, that's what I was talking about. So with modding Dark Souls 1, specifically Dark Souls 1, it's in a unique situation where you're actually constantly deciding or trying to figure out if, did I fuck this up? did Q-Lock fuck this up? Or did From Software fuck this up? Because there are so many issues with Dark Souls 1, with render issues, layouts, and there's a lot of fucking issues. Mesh holes and shit. And so you kind of have to go, who fucked this up? Now, most of the time, it's actually been a From Software fuck up. That's most of the time. I'd say 80% have been, it was just their issue. Now, to be fair, you can put some of that blame on Q-Lock, that they didn't really fix anything with the remaster. I do find it a little odd that they didn't fix any mesh holes or anything really, or draw group issues. Like, look at this little seam over here. I still haven't fixed that because it's actually, unfortunately, a more complicated mesh hole to fix. This is my least favorite kind of mesh hole, where this seam is actually two separate map pieces intersecting. So it makes it incredibly difficult because you can't just sew it up in Blender like I normally would on a map piece. If it was a self-contained map piece, I would sew that up easy peasy lemon squeezy. Not a problem. Fill that in, boom, done. This one is right between, it's the intersection, it's the fault line between two map pieces, which makes it so, if I put them both in Blender, I should be able to just move the plane down just a bit, but there's no way for me to actually connect them. I can't do because they're separate. So I'll see what I can do, or I'll put a shrub over it. But no, I should be able to lower it. I just haven't gotten around to doing it. You can add something. Yeah, exactly. I can do like the Bob Ross, put a shrub over it or something. That'd be a good idea. I should be able to fix it. Whoop. Oh, shit in my ass. Okay. Ow, bitch ass. Hey, the boss soul guy's over there. Yeah, let's go talk to, what's his face? Okay, if you guys kill me here, I have to retire from streaming. I mean, I'll be retiring on top, obviously, so no doubt. All right. Oh, also hot tip for Dark Souls Remastered, for the love of God, rebind your jump to the left thumbstick. Just do it. I didn't miss the jump. You didn't trust in me. You didn't believe in me, and I will never forget that. Although, to be honest, I usually miss the jump. And then I fucking fall. Yeah, there's actually something weird going on. I'm noticing there's something weird going on with this texture. I always thought there was something weird. It's applying a texture on top of the actual texture that's there, but you can see it's semi-transparent. Oh no, are you a mouse and keyboard player, Dark Souls? There are dozens of us. No, I've never been able to play Dark Souls with a keyboard, but no, you can actually see there's a mask on top of it that is applying the grass texture. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, hold on, guys. We're live modding here because that is wrong. That is very much wrong. Well, I mean, I say wrong, but they may have wanted it to look like, unfortunately, it looks really bad, though. It should not be looking like that because it's very... See, here's how it should look. So when you're in DS Map Studio, this is the actual texture. They're simply applying like an alpha-based one on top of it. Whoa. Keyboard and mouse player. That's crazy. That's nutty. The game was admittedly designed around controller. Yeah, my computer does that every once in a while where it gets really bright for some reason. I don't know. I don't know that I would agree on way better camera control, but to each their own. Definitely the way that your character moves, the 360 degrees of motion, I think will always be superior to the WASD. Like, you just have more, the actual movement that you have is just more accurate with a controller. Now, I understand, I don't know, I've always found keyboard and mouse to be good for like first-person shooters or precision. So, oh God, you did it on the Prepare to Die edition? Jesus Christ. I know with DS Fix there was a mouse fix as well, and like it kind of made it better. But I don't know. I think lock on for me is dependent. If it's on a big enemy, take lock on off because the camera gets worse. But on normal enemies, lock on's very helpful. Once again, personal preference. It's because you can sprint and camera. Oh, interesting. If you play on controller, you need to use lock on, and Dark Souls 1 has no omnidirectional rolling. Yeah, but I don't think keyboard and mouse makes that better, I guess. I don't know. Personal preference. I've played it on keyboard and mouse when my controller stopped working, and I fucking hate it every time. Um, yeah, I'm just like, man, I hate how it controls with keyboard and mouse. But once again, personal preference. How's the mod coming? It's pretty good, you know? It's pretty good. Easy backstabs. Yeah, I think lock-on is pretty fucking great for normal enemies. It's awful for big enemies, because then the camera is the real boss, right? If you don't lock on, you can roll in every... Well, yes. I mean, yeah, I agree that, like, yes, when you're locked on, you are... But that's kind of the point of lock on, is that you're centered around them, and so you roll to the left, roll to the right, roll backward. Yeah, I kind of prefer that, because I want to keep my focus on them, and so I can see how that would depend on the person. Like Bloodborne, it's the same thing for me, where I lock on sometimes, and I don't lock on sometimes. Because with Bloodborne, you can actually do like the full-on roll when you're not locked on. But when you are, you do just like the little dash thing. So, yeah, I get that. Let's look at this map piece real quick. Because it's doing some weird alpha-based bullshit that I don't like. I mean, that's fair if you don't think you need lock on for enemies. That's fair. I think it's incredibly useful. As I was playing Dragon's Dogma 2, I promise you, I was like, I would like a lock on. I would like a lock on. This just feels sloppy as fuck. But once again, personal preference. Yeah, you can have good camera movement. I guess I've never had a big problem with, like, I know the Dark Souls camera gets a lot of shit, but I'm like, okay, you try to design a better, like, designing cameras in games, like, I don't think any game has nailed it, especially, like, third-person camera. That's tough, man. Dark Souls 2 did it slightly differently with, like, making things semi-translucent. I think Mortal Crux actually had a recent Twitter post about how objects that enter the camera, it will occlude them or whatever, to, you know, so that way you can still have visibility, and it's just really complicated. It's just a really complicated thing with third person. So I think they get a little bit too much shit for that, where I'm like, yeah, okay, I get it, but try to design a better camera than them. And the person would usually go, well, yeah, I don't know how I would do that. I just want it to be better. It's like, well, okay. So 10:02. Oh, Resident Evil, there you go. I love Resident Evil despite never playing one. I've watched playthroughs of all of them with like Maximilian Dude and Andy Cortez. Between the two of them, I love Resident Evil. I think they're just such cool, wonky, fucking quirky games, you know? I kind of wish Resident Evil, I guess, would kind of go back to like Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3. That, like, yeah, okay, yeah, dissolving foreground geometry away tends to be working best. Yeah, exactly. Like, I think it's all a trade-off, right? I don't think anyone, because I think if someone had nailed a third-person camera to where it became the industry standard and everyone's like, fuck yeah, that's the best. Like, I think it's trade-offs. I don't know. I mean, as with most things in game dev, right? You haven't played a single one? I have not. I have not played a single one. Yes. Okay, good. So Mortal Crux has a lot more room to talk about this than as an actual like game dev. Yes, third-person cameras are just, I think, infinitely more difficult to handle. Now, first-person cameras have their own challenges, but like you're not having that constant issue of your camera running into a fucking wall, running at the ceiling. Is it high enough? How do you handle, do you let the camera go all the way through? Do you have a fixed camera? Well, the fixed camera, that's a whole other thing. And so there's just, how do you handle that? Do you make it not visible? Well, you know, so I don't know. I'm fascinated by like how they handle that, but I think people oversimplify. Well, if it's on Twitter specifically, but yeah, I haven't played a single Resident Evil. I really love him though. That's the thing. Maximilian Dude is just, his enthusiasm for those games and I like vicariously. The gameplay doesn't really interest me that much, so I think that's why I just never cared to play them. I'm also a scaredy cat, so I don't really. That's not really my jam. Is to be scared. Not to mention, a lot of them I guess aren't actually scary because I've watched the playthroughs, like Resident Evil 6. That's not fucking scary. It's stupid. That's not scary. Okay, so 2300B2. Let's crack this open because I need to know what the fuck are you guys doing with this material setup. There's something going on. I think it's using a multi-texture when it shouldn't. Yeah. So let's look at this. Okay, so let's highlight. Oh, interesting. It is not that. Huh. Okay. Well, interesting. Oh. Yeah, it's multi-textured. So, interesting. So, basically one of these I don't want it to use. And it was set up to do this, but the way that it's handling it is really fucking awful. It's odd. I don't like how it's handling it. 7, yes, I will say watching that playthrough, 7 is legitimately scary. Will never play that in my life. You haven't played Half-Life 1 or 2. I think I've played through most of Half-Life 1 before the alien fucking area or whatever or wasn't that unfinished? I never got to that part, but I played through the rest of it. Half-Life 2, I think I played most of it. Half-Life gameplay has also not been a big jam for me. I tend to and I guess the world never really drew me in that much. And once again, that's totally personal preference. I think they are brilliant games, and I do kind of wish Valve was a little bit more. Yeah, the Black Mesa mod. Let me tell you, that's fucking awesome. That's got to be one of the best modding stories we've ever had, where Valve was like, "Fuck yeah, let's let them sell it and let's officially endorse it." I mean, that's best case scenario, right? And Valve are just homies for doing that, because they didn't have any interest in remaking it. So, and then their Half-Life Source kind of fucking sucked, from what I heard. And then they kept updating Half-Life Source and breaking shit, and they finally were like, "All right, we're sunsetting Half-Life Source. We do not consider that to be the official version 1 or whatever, or Half-Life 1." I think they recently said, "Nah." But yeah, unfortunately, I did use Half-Life 2 as a benchmark for so many years. I would load it up, and I really love the intro of it. I think it's one thing I did enjoy a lot was Half-Life Alyx. Played all the way through Half-Life Alyx. Gotta say, love the shit out of that. I think it's the VR element that added a lot of fun for me, to where the default Half-Life gameplay didn't do much for me, but the fact that it was in VR was a game changer and actually made every encounter super fun, where by default I didn't really find it that fun. And it's the best VR experience I think that's ever been created by a lot. I think it's kind of crazy that it came out and then nothing has really. Anything else that's out there has been tech demo-y, like they're impressive, but as an actual legitimate AAA VR experience that on its own is good. It just happens to be VR, I think. Because I think it'd be a good Half-Life 2 game. Yeah, I don't own a VR headset anymore. I've had a few different ones throughout me life. I'm trying to see if I can just take off the multi-texture here. Will it be smart enough to only use? It should use basically the default, initial diffuse specular and bump map and height map, but not use the diffuse 2, specular 2, and bump map 2. Because if I rip those out manually, it usually fucking hates me and doesn't like to do it. So we're going to test that, of downgrading it to just a different material setting. So basically what I did, these are the material settings that are used for the surfaces. The brackets and then the M, that stands for multi-texture. RE4 VR, I've admittedly wanted to play. And then they also put 7 and 8 are both in VR, I believe. Yeah, motion sickness is definitely something that it's unfortunate that, like, I think there's just going to be a percentage of the population that won't be able to experience it, because they do have certain mitigation factors, but I think even with those, it's just some people just have worse motion sickness, which makes sense. So let's see how this looks in game. If it does what I want, it'll look fine. Does that look fine? Do you guys like the look of this? It's Tron Souls. Tron Souls 1. Yeah. Oh, it's your classic shader issue. Okay. Okay. Oh, actually, I have a little trick here. Yeah, corrugated metal. Yeah, it's looking pretty good, right? Okay, I got a trick, because, yeah, usually I can go in manually to the JSON and then delete diffuse 2, specular 2, bump map 2. But that usually creates that same issue, because there's something in the texture and the way that they, or in the surface, that I think it maybe the flags or something. But anyway, what I'm going to do, it's going to be a little goofy here. I'm just going to duplicate the textures I do want and use them for both. And maybe it won't be noticeable that I'm using them for both. That's the hope. Yeah, so it's this one here. So let's go back to M. Okay, let's put back our multi-texture shader. Hello, lads. Peace T, what's going on? I need Bloodborne PC. Oh my god. Yeah, I need to get a PS4 as well. I was borrowing my brother's for a while when I was playing PS4 last, or Bloodborne last. I legit want one of the PS4 Pros that you can mod, so I can get the 720p, 60 FPS, and then the randomizer. I'd stream that shit all the time. I'd never stop streaming that, to be honest. I'd stream it until, yeah, 30 FPS is fine. Like, I'm like, Bloodborne is so amazing. I'd play that shit at 15 FPS. I'm dead serious. It'd be bad, but I'd do it. I'd do it for Bloodborne. And I mean it. I love that music. As long as the music is standard. Dude, yeah, I'll play it. I guess for me, I used to have an N64, okay? And I used to play fucking GoldenEye at 7 FPS. So, it's not a big deal. I've seen worse, okay? We were used to low FPS. Now some, obviously there were other instances of... Yeah, exactly. Like, I've played the old shit where I was fucking used to awful frame rate. So, Like Mario 64, N64 in general was incredibly low FPS. I just downloaded the Second Sin mod. Amazing work, man. Thank you. That's very nice. 20 to 30? Yeah, I mean, personally, I'm fine with 30, We need to try GoldenEye? Oh, hell yeah. That's true. I haven't been back to GoldenEye in forever. I can't believe those Mad Lads on N64, didn't they have, it was 4-screen multiplayer, right? Oh, god damn it. Yeah, it didn't look right. Yeah, it's using the second texture on top. Fuck. God damn it. If you don't know better, it's okay. But if you do... No, even, like, okay, so that's actually a really good example, because this would happen when I had a PS2. And I would go back... Actually, I don't really know why... Wasn't it backwards compatible with the PS1, right? Anyway, I would basically go back to play... Yeah, that's right. So Gran Turismo 3 was on PS2. And this is what commonly would happen when a Gran Turismo game would come to the newer platform, is it would have a lot less content than the last Gran Turismo on the previous console. So Gran Turismo 2 had a fuckload of cars and maps. And so I was like, well, shit, I'm going to go play that. But going back from PS2 graphics to PS1 graphics, wow. But my eyes adjusted. After like 10, 20 minutes, I was fine. Like, yeah, it wasn't PS2 level, but like, I was used to it. The only time frame rates are legitimately an issue for me is when it's variable and it's going from 60 to 30 to 20 to 70 to, that's when it's like a legit issue. Um, like, and yeah, 24, I think, I think 30 makes sense as like a baseline, and that's why it's been a baseline. 24 is doable. That's obviously what cinema is, you know, generally at 24. So, if not always, there's been a few occurrences of like 48. They've tried messing around with 48 FPS. But yeah, I'm pretty easy going with that. Like, I think we get a little too into that. Yeah, well, yeah, if you're online, like, yes, frame rate. I do think people go a little too crazy with that, where they go, I'm gonna mod this game to where I remove every tree, every possible. Like, there was one guy who was going through the new Counter Strike 2 that came out or whatever, and he was going through modding the levels and basically taking away all the artistic flourishes that the level designers had put, because he's like, well, this increases visibility. And I'm like, yeah, but you're removing all interesting elements of the level that make it look like a place. And like if there was a window that was looking into a shop, all the windows would just be closed and like bricked up. And I'm like, okay, I mean, I get that that's more visibility, but you're kind of killing the look of the level. And they'll do that on like Fortnite, where they'll lower the settings so much to where it looks so dog shit just because they'll get high frame rate. And I'm like, man, that's not me, dog. That's just not me. Um, yeah, exactly. When you, yeah, higher frame rate movies, it sort of has that home video look, or soap opera. Um, yes, I know. Competitive. I'm not a competitive shooter guy. I played Call of Duty for the campaigns, so that's where I live. Also, I agree. I've never been able to watch people play Fortnite. I've literally watched for like a minute because I've played Fortnite, and like I think there's fun to be had there, but I also think there's too much going on. I'm tired. Like 10 minutes into playing Fortnite, I was like, bro, I'm out, dude. I'm old. I'm tired. We got 18 different IPs all at once, jizz blasting on each other of different attacks, and things are being said, and people are sniping, and there's 5,000 different weapons, and there's loot to grab, and building, and what the hell is going on? Like, to me, I just was like, I don't, fuck me, man, I can't do it. Oh, the PvE mode. Dude, I didn't even know there was a PvE mode. Yeah, I guess it is dead, because I mean, I'm not an expert on Fortnite. I barely know anything about it. Yeah, 60 FPS on YouTube. I wonder when they're going to do like high frame rate. I personally don't care. I've had a high refresh rate monitor. I liked it. I thought it was okay. I don't need it, especially for Souls games. 60 FPS is like, that's good. I understand some people, you know, they need higher, but I'm okay with it. I like it. 60 FPS. Well, and people forget that like we had the PS2 generation, we had more 60 FPS games than I think we thought. And even during the PS3 generation, there were actually some 60 FPS games, and man, we plateaued hard on CPU performance when we went into the Xbox One PS4 gen, because those Jaguar cores were absolute shit ass awful, and it absolutely held us back hard. It's just real bad. Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna convert this over to the old style of Fiverr, so I can edit the JSON. What's up, Knight Rider? Big Dog? I like that that's the canonical, like, introduction to my streams, is what's up, Big Dog? That's what I say all the time. So it makes sense. Yeah, standardized 60 hertz screens. Yes, yeah, that was huge. And personally, I think that's likely to be the standard for maybe ever. I think the 120 hertz is cool. I think 90 is cool. I think 240, 360, 480 is frankly dumb. Not saying it doesn't have a purpose, but you're getting diminishing returns. And I don't know. I think it's the equivalent of like monitor jerking off, right? Like I just like okay, cool, great. You got 5,000 bajillion FPS. Eh, you know, like it doesn't. I'm not interested in that. It just doesn't fucking matter to me. Okay. So, oh, get out of town. What if I copy? Hold on. Hold on. I had a goddamn idea right there. I had a goddamn idea. Yeah, I think 144 is makes sense. Although there's sort of a difference. The problem when you don't have like variable refresh rate, or if like a game doesn't support it or whatever, because 144 isn't like divisible by the natural refresh rates of the. I'm not an expert on monitors. I just nerd out about the specs and whatnot, but I've heard it's like preferable to cap it at 120 versus 144, specifically because the difference between 120 and 144 is ridiculous and useless, right? Have you ever played the Donkey Kong Country games? Yeah, I played it when I was a kid. Yeah, yeah. We had a Super Nintendo. We had a Nintendo before that, our NES, and then SNES or SNES. Yeah, I had all the way back to the originals. Yeah, I mean, I didn't have an Atari. That I don't go that far back, but I'm pretty close, frankly. Yeah, I mean, VRR is pretty standard at this point. I personally have had middling sort of experience with VRR displays. I've never had like a fully certified NVIDIA like VRR display. I've always had an NVIDIA graphics card, but I've always had monitors that were basically G-Sync compatible. I think if I had an actual full-on G-Sync certified monitor plus a graphics card, it would be a better experience because I've always had sort of a middling, it kind of works. There's a little bit of flicker, and so I personally, but I also don't really play demanding games. I just play Dark Souls 1 on loop for my entire life. So, yeah, I technically have an HDR monitor, but it's one of those fake HDR monitors where it's not bright enough to benefit from it. So there's no reason why they put it on the box other than to say it has it and it can accept that signal. But it looks like dog shit and it looks worse. But if you get a real HDR monitor, oh yeah, oh yeah. I do want to get one, but unfortunately, HDR on Windows is it's rough. Like they have auto HDR now, it can apply to games that don't have HDR support because that does still happen. Um, but I've switched over to the Windows HDR, and it I don't know. Yeah, HDR on Windows is just a real rough. Oh god damn! It didn't fix it. Fuck. Something fix it. Okay, it didn't like that. Um, yeah, HDR support is like it's there, but like it's just wonky as fuck. And so I've had a much better experience like on when I had an Xbox console. HDR was great. It was easy peasy, you know. I had Windows 11 for a while, and then I downgraded because Windows 11, man, it's kind of buggy. And the start menu, I didn't really end up liking the new start menu. I know you can like make it into what it looks like with Windows 10 ish. I think Windows 11 just completely was like a wet fart. I was pretty excited for it, but it ended up being a wet fart where they were like, "Oh, it's going to be more performant." Nah, not true. More modern looking. I'm like, okay, but you could have done that with Windows 10. So, oh, the right-click menus. That's the reason I downgraded. Totally honest. That is the reason I downgraded. If you are gonna make me hit more options on a fucking right-click menu, no, I'm out. I'm done. That's a deal breaker. Unless there was some, I didn't find an easy setting to like undo that, but I was like, even the fact that you would do that, I'm out. No, I'm gonna go back. Windows 10 was working for me. It's still not perfect, and they'll still put out an update that fucks something up. But Jesus Christ, I was like, dude, y'all gotta stop fucking up. This, oh, let me. Oh wait, did I save that? Um, Not liking me. Oh, that's B2. Yeah, that's B2. That's the right one. And then let's put that into Fiverr. Witchy B and D. Uh-huh. Let's open it again. Yeah, that right-click menu was an abomination. Well, and that's the thing, is that all the Windows 11 specific features, they've all basically flipped back and said, well, okay, I mean, we'll do it on 10. And it's like, well, then what was the fucking point? Like, why? You need to give me an actual reason as to why you're doing it. I understand because also they reneged on the Windows 10 back when that came out, because I worked at a place that was selling computers, and they were like, oh yeah, we're not going to do these big versions of Windows anymore. Now, of course, when they announced that, I went, well, I'll believe it when I see it. call me in 10 years. Let's see how that goes. And naturally, it did not go that well. All right, I got an idea. Let's go over to my old folder, map, M1002, and let's steal from the old folder and put it into the new folder. And that should be fine, I think. Although it might still be borked just because that's how they wanted it to be. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's supposed to look kind of shitty. I guess it's not that noticeable, but they just wanted to overlay the grass onto it. If you really look closely, it looks kind of shit. But okay, that's how FromSoft wanted it to be, so I'm okay with that. Because I used a I used a bloatware remover too. Yeah. Tiny 10 or Tiny 11, or it was Tiny 11 for 11. I tried that and it still didn't fucking work. Ooh, we got, damn it. Yeah, I wanted Ornstein's, but I knew I killed the wrong person. I just wanted to win, though, you know? I just wanted to win. Alright. Yoink. Oh, do you notice something kind of goofy? So here, the bird doesn't render. Yoink. Bird renders. Ooh, boy, I almost died on that one. Funny thing is, they're killing themselves. I'm not even killing these guys. I am curious. I don't think I've ever actually looked into fixing the bird rendering. I think all you have to... I thought all you had to do was undo the what collision initiates it. I think I tried that and then it didn't work. Let me try to leave it blank. Let's see what happens. Just for funsies. Although I will be ending the stream soon, because it's hot in my room and I have to go mow the grass, and that shit sucks. Yeah, remove the bloatware for sure. Yeah, Windows could use a bloatware removal. Okay. Let's test if the bird decides to show up. I've never messed around too much with this. I would like to... Oh, see, now he just doesn't render at all. Oops. That's what I remember happening. Okay. I don't know. Because it's set for collision 009. Oh, hold on. Oh, we can figure this out. Well, I'm only going to look into it for like a few seconds. I say that, and then I'll be here for 5 years. But I really actually have to go. I killed the bird. I did. I mean, he was just chilling, but you know. Okay, so we're going to load up Prepare to Die edition. That's your other hot tip of the day. Always make sure you have a Prepare to Die project. What time is it? Here it is 3:43 p.m. I am in the Central Standard Time Zone. I am in the flyover country of America. Oh, there's two birds. Because one of them is, yeah, dummy. Oh, the dummy object. I think the dummy object is actually the one that controls it, if I remember correctly. And it's already set to not have the collision name. Really? Really? Oh, fucking light ray bitch asses. Okay. Other pro tip. If you ever have something that is blocking your view, find it, select it, go to map pieces, and then hide it so you can see. It's delightful. Oh, okay. Huh. Well, okay, let me visualize the collision. So here's the real reason you need a Prepare to Die project. You don't need it, but you pretty much need it. It's that you can visualize the collisions. It's delicious. That's a weird way of describing it, but it's accurate. Because in Dark Souls Remastered, when you want to pick a collision of what controls something, you cannot see it. But you can pick something that is in that area, and you'll see that it references the collision, and then you can choose it this way. But you still can't see where that collision is. But if you choose here, you can see that the collision the bird is referencing is H0009B2, and it is this section here. So it looks like the bird... I was always wondering what they meant by that. That the bird had to touch that collision to pop up, and I'm assuming that's what they mean. But I almost wonder if it's the draw groups for it. I wonder. Okay, real quick. Oh no, that's Prepare to Die. We don't want to mess with Prepare to Die. Let's mess with my collision just for a second. Just for science. We're going to adjust the draw groups. And maybe break fucking everything. But we're going to try it out. I remember unpacking effects files or some shit and previewing the effects that I wanted to change. It was so funny, I recognized so many random things. I then found an ID table. Oh, thank God. Yeah. Without the helpful tables that people have made, I would have been lost for... Specifically, yeah, the special effect files are like... Bro, I'm also having that issue with like Dragon's Dogma 1. I finally figured out how to unpack the textures to be able to mod, you know, like a texture pack for Dragon's Dogma. But oh my God, I have no idea where in the game these textures are. They're in folders called F0, F1, and then inside there's 6 folders. You go to the 6th folder that finally has the DDS file, and then it's like a fucking tree. So I don't know. That's somewhere. It kind of sucks because it's really hard to tell where you're upscaling. So I'm like, well, I don't want to just upscale the whole goddamn game without being able to see it until I do. Like, I don't know. So Dark Souls made it a lot easier once I could find exactly what texture I was upscaling, and then I could check it in game right after I did it. But Dragon's Dogma, no, that has not been the case. It has sucked bigly. Okay, let me just check. I don't even think these draw groups are... Oh my God, I love how I log in. There's just randomly people dropping. That's great. Yeah, bird still doesn't render. Oh, bird doesn't render at all. Well, there you go. I've still killed the bird. The bird is the word. So I've heard. Okay. Oh, let's save it again. Save it again. When I dig through folders, sometimes I notice a lot of empty folders with nothing inside. Oh, like in Dark Souls? Yeah, I think there's just a lot of folders that are either unused. I don't know if I found too many empty ones. I'm trying to think. I wouldn't be surprised. There's just a lot of shit that, like, they had like a default cube map that was just kind of hanging out. Yeah, I guess, yeah, it could be like hidden files or something. I don't know. The way the file systems work is pretty fucking wonky. Okay, is the bird... Bird is back. Bird is back, everyone. Oh my God, I just yeeted that motherfucker. Oh God, he went right through the geo. Oof. Yeah, he ain't coming back for Dark Souls 4. He done. That guy's officially cooked. Well, anyway, I'm going to end the stream there because I'm tired. And now I gotta go mow the grass. That's gonna suck ass. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna be really tired, and I'm gonna go to the store. I enjoy listening to your talking while playing DS3. Hell yeah. People have been telling me that. They're like, yeah, you have like a podcast voice. And I'm like, it's news to me, but all right. Thanks for the stream. Thank you. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I did. I love having these little streams. I fixed like 2 bugs that I had not remembered, and that's pretty sweet. Does it kill characters when spawning unless you negate fall? Does it kill characters when spawning unless you negate fall? I don't know. I mean, those enemies were just dropping because they had like already ragdolled or whatever. But yeah, anyway, have a good day, everyone. I will see you next time, which should be on Friday, which will be very fun and very cool. That 30-year-old FromSoft boomer who mows down the lawn, that's me. I'd be mowing that lawn. Yeah, have a good day, everyone.